We are on a road trip heading to the border. We're going to Monument. The last time we were there, oh, it's a goat a goat that was in the middle of the road. We're heading to Monument. The last time we were there, we went to see the progress of the canal. But this time, that's not what we're going there for. We're going to pick up my grandma. This is my mom's mom. She is from Mamlad. You have heard all about her. She is the one from my How I Met My Husband story time. She was with one of my brothers in Santo Domingo, and she's been asking to come back. She wanted to come back. So yeah, she is going back to Gonaive. And before she goes to Gonaive, she's going to be with us for a couple of days. I hope today is a chill day at the border. You know, sometimes there's a little tension because our side of the border has remained closed, even though the Dominicans have opened up their side. So if you remember, when the Haitians started building the canal, the Dominicans closed off their borders. I mean, at every single point, whether it's by air, by land, by sea, whatever it was, all borders were closed. After a while, they decided to open up their borders because it was impacting them economically, because they trade a lot with Haiti. We buy a lot of goods from them, and so it starts to have a negative impact on their economy. So they had to open it up. But the Haitians was like, nope, we're not opening up our side. So our gate is closed, their gate is open. So we made it to Monument, but since Haiti's border is closed, we weren't allowed to drive through the first gate. We had to park the car and walk through the first gate. Once we walked past the first gate, they didn't allow us to walk up to the second gate. That's the gate that you can enter into the DR. After speaking to one of the agents and explaining to them that she is a senior citizen, they allowed Sammy to walk up to the second gate to get her. We made it back home and now it's time to make dinner. I'm making some décollé, which is some rice and peas with some chicken. First, I had to prep everything. I started off by tying some parsley around the thyme. I did that both for the chicken and for the rice. Now I'm cutting up some shallots to add to the chicken. This is a Scotch bonnet pepper, which is pretty spicy. Before adding it into the pot, I stick some cloves into the pepper. I do this for both the chicken and for the rice. Now it's time to crush some garlic. This is going to be for the chicken. Even though the chicken marinated overnight in a piece, and there's garlic in a piece, I always add fresh garlic when I'm cooking the meat. I sliced half of the onion for the chicken and then I diced the other half for the rice. Then I diced one tomato. I don't use tomato paste to make my sauce. I use a fresh tomato instead. I like to crush the tomato. I find that it's just easier to make the sauce that way. This is coconut milk that I made ahead of time. I'm going to add this to the rice. This is épices, which I always make ahead of time. I have a few jars in the freezer, at least one jar in the refrigerator. I'm adding the épices to the onions because this is going to be for my rice. It looks like I'm adding a lot of épices, but I don't use any other seasonings. I don't use Maggi or anything like that. So this amount of épices gives the rice a lot of flavor. I didn't show when the beans were boiling, but I boiled them with some garlic and some cloves. Now that the beans are cooked, I'm taking the garlic out and adding them to the épices. This is a whole chicken that we bought at the street market. You pick the chicken that you want based on the size and the price. You don't have to take the chicken home alive. They'll handle everything for you. Then once you get home, you clean it and season it and so on. I always add coconut milk to my rice. I feel like if I don't add coconut milk, then it doesn't taste right. But not every region in Haiti does that. Some places just use water, but I always do a combo. I usually do 2 cups of coconut milk and that replaces 2 cups of water. So say I need 5 cups of water. Instead, I'll do 3 cups of water, 2 cups of coconut milk. Or if I need 4 cups of water, then I'll do 2 cups of coconut milk and 2 cups of water, and so on. Before adding the rice, I always taste it to make sure there's enough salt. There wasn't enough, so that's the reason why I added some more here. I'm using a local rice grown in La Tibonite. As the chicken is cooking down, I usually take some of the sauce and put it in a bowl and set it aside. I end up using that at the very end when I'm making the final sauce. That way, boy. We are almost at the station. Gun is leaving. Oh my gosh, y'all. Yesterday I definitely shed a few tears. I think we're here. I've never been to this station. No pas que No pas que Gun is leaving. She's gonna go naive. My cousin's already there. We gotta find a good spot for her. Oh, this area is rough. My lord, this area is very rough.